What's up, everybody? Today we are doing another ranking and we are talking about the top 5 Mitsubishis of all time. I do have a handful of honorable mentions that, make this list 9, but I didn't think that it was worth putting them in a top anything list. The number 4 honorable mention is the PX33, which you probably don't know what that is if you've never looked into the Mitsubishi history. But it's at number 4. It barely even belongs on honorable mentions, but it's just cool because it was a military sedan that had full-time four-wheel drive. The first time full-time four-wheel drive was ever fitted to a Japanese passenger car, or sedan at least, which is a military vehicle that was cool. At number 2, we have the Pajero Mini. The Pajero itself was huge in terms of the Japanese off-road market, the Japanese SUV market, huge. And the Mini is the K version of that, just really cool. Number 2, we have the original Pajero. The Pajero was a bet that Mitsubishi made when other Japanese companies didn't want to. SUVs were starting to take off in America and not really in Japan, and the Japanese automakers didn't think that an SUV would do really well, and Mitsubishi thought it would, and the regular Pajero sold like crazy. It was extremely popular and revolutionized the Japanese car market. And brought upon Japanese SUVs. And I did a full video on the history of the Pajero. I'll link that down below if you want to check that out. And at number 1, we have the Starion. I like the Starion. It's cool. I love the way it looks. It was like a sports-ish car. I don't think they're actually that sporty, but it was a Mitsubishi sports car. It looks cool. Has a cool engine. It's just fine. It wasn't enough to make the list, although it almost did. So starting off with our actual list, at number 5, we have the Galant VR4 in the 6th generation. The Galant was a just normal passenger car, and then they wanted to join Group B Rally, and they had a different car for it. Group B shut down before Mitsubishi entered it, and so they still wanted a rally. So in the Group A Rally, they homologated the Galant.
3 Mitsubishi Galant fahren vorne mit. Timu Salonen in Führung, Lasse Lampi und
VR4, which came with the legendary 4G63T in it. It had 237 horsepower and 224 pound-feet of torque, but it was also, and what makes it really cool and really important, besides the fact that it's a homologation special, was it was the first Mitsubishi with a high-performance four-wheel drive system called the Dynamic 4, that not only had a center diff controlled four-wheel drive system, it also had four-wheel steering, four-wheel independent suspension, and four-wheel ABS, which were, especially the independent suspension and the four-wheel ABS, were not common on vehicles at that time, and they did it on the Galant VR4, and just being homologation special already makes it cool. Then at number 4, not a homologation special, I debated to switch 4 and 5, but it's the first gen 3000 GT or VR4 or the GTO if you're in other markets, but I'm going to focus on the American market when I can with these cars. So I went with the first gen. I think the first gen is the best looking. It was more revolutionary. I think the third gen has that big cool wing, but the first gen had the pop-up headlights, and I just thought it looked cool. And, unless first gens are terrible compared to later gens, I tend to stick with the car that started it all, or the car that blew up that car's name, and that's the first gen 3000 GT or GTO. This had the 6G72 twin turbo. This had 300 horsepower and 308 pound-feet of torque, and it was a heavy vehicle. It was like in the mid 3000s, somewhere like that. But it also had the same Mitsubishi AWC system, which was that four-wheel drive Dynamic 4 system as the Galant, but it also had active aero.
But these additions aren't just for show. They're part of the Mitsubishi active aero system.
And an active exhaust in a time where that really wasn't much of a thing in the early 90s. And so the active aero and the active exhaust is what made me put it ahead of the Galant, although you argue the homologation special is definitely cooler. At number 2, we have the second generation Eclipse GSX, another car that came with the legendary 4G63T. It only had 210 horsepower and 200 pound-feet of torque in this configuration, but it had full-time four-wheel drive. It looks cool. I love the power dome, which everyone thinks is for a turbo. I can't remember off the top of my head what it's actually for, but it's not for the turbo. That's what everyone thinks. But it's the best looking Eclipse by far, in my opinion. It's got a 4G 63T. It's got full-time all-wheel drive, and then bonus points for it being in Too Fast, Too Furious. I've only seen the first one, that one, and Tokyo Drift because I don't need to see the other ones. And I know a lot of people's favorite is Too Fast, Too Furious, or the first one. This one was in Too Fast, Too Furious, right? I don't think it was the third gen. Now I'm going to mix it up. And if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments down below. But either way, it's got Fast and Furious credentials, which makes it cool. At number 2, and I really wanted to put this at number 1 for my own personal bias, but I couldn't, is the Pajero Evolution behind me. I did a full video on the history of the Pajero. Like I said, I linked that down below. I talk about the Pajero Evolution there. This was a Dakar Rally homologation special, which I also posted a video of the history of Mitsubishi at the Dakar Rally, which I'll link down below. And the Pajero Evolution was born out of that when they did the, I just filmed that video not that long ago, the T2 class, which is the production class that you had to homologate in 1997. So this was a Dakar Rally homologation. It came with the 6G74 dual overcam V6. That was the first vehicle to come with Mitsubishi's MyVec system. Mitsubishi, something, I'll put it down here what MyVec actually stands for, but it's essentially Mitsubishi's VTEC, and this was the first car to come with it. It came with 276 horsepower and 257 pound-feet of torque. It comes with the Select Drive four-wheel drive system where you can put it in two low, two wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low. Comes with these really cool fender flares, unique suspension compared to the other Pajeros to make it a desert runner. It's really cool. It's really awesome. I think this will be posted after this is no longer going to be behind me and no longer for sale. So it'd be sad to see it go. This maybe to me is the coolest Mitsubishi ever. And this is my list, but I had to go with the consensus at number 1. And at number 1, it's the Lancer Evolutions. Now, I didn't want to pick just one because a lot of people have a lot of different favorites, but it's 1 through 7. The 1 through 7 were all Group A homologations. 8, 9, and 10 weren't. So I thought 1 through 7 are the coolest. My personal favorites are 4, 5, and 6. You just get, especially like in the 6, the big fog lights, they just look the most rally to me. 1, 2, and kind of 3 really look like regular traffic with like a big wing on it. 7 looks more and more like the 8 and 9, which still just look like sports sedans of the time. But 4, 5, and 6 really get that like rally look, that homologation look. And if we're talking coolest cool of the cool, and one of the reasons why I put this at number 1, the 6 actually has the Tommy Mäkinen edition. If you don't know Tommy Mäkinen's famous rally car driver, but the Tommy Mäkinen Evo 6 had lowered ride height, special bumpers, and wheels, and you could also get a special graphics package on it. But the Evos as a whole came with the 4G63T. It's what that motor's most famous for being in. And Evo started out at Evo 1 with 247 horsepower and 228 pound-feet of torque. But by the Evo 7, it was up to 276 horsepower and 290 pound-feet of torque. If you don't know why I do this with 276, it's the Japanese gentleman's agreement that you've probably heard of. And then, of course, they come with a great all-wheel drive system. And, you know, a lot of people that are just mildly into cars, they know about that Lancer Evolution. They don't know about the Pajero Evolution. So there's another reason why I put the Lancer Evolution at number 1. It just has such a big name in the car world. But those are my top Mitsubishis of all time and the honorable mentions as well. Let me know what you think in the comments down below about my top 5, my honorable mentions. Did I forget something? Would you rank them different? Let me know everything in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you like car content and you want to see my car content first. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell. And also, if you're into short form content, my Instagram and TikTok are linked down below. If you just want to follow me on Twitter, that's linked down below. And if you're into hiking, I also have a YouTube channel, Instagram, and TikTok, all linked down below. So if you want to support me here, there, or anywhere, it is greatly appreciated. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.